Okay, I think we're back. We had a big freeze there. Everything got paused. All right. Welcome everybody. I'm Dr. Kevin. We are live with Synergy Solutions. So let's say hello to everybody. We had something just froze right there at 12 o'clock, and everything froze on my computer. So that's pretty fun. But here we are. We made it. Let's say hello to everybody. Where are we? Oh, my screen. I think this will work. Yes, there it is. We found it. We're all here. We're all live. Welcome, Dr. Vesna. He just got here. Hello, hello.
Hello, Vesna. Hello.
Hi. Hi.
And well, we were just talking before we went live about our weekend experience, and Dr. George and I both live.
KST seminar.
That's right. We both went to the KST seminar, and we're in the Philadelphia area, so that was very easy for us. And I had profound experiences. We had profound speakers talking about the some of the best information around holistic health and in terms of energy, frequency, and vibrations. We had someone, a very interesting speaker, in my opinion, that works for the DoD. I don't know how much I can say, George. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
I'll leave it at that. However, talking about energy, frequency.
At noon, so.
Say again, George.
I say he tried to shut you off at noon, apparently. So I don't know. When you froze up.
Oh, maybe. Well, let's see. But nonetheless, and we had some very interesting experience. But we were just talking about something we had experienced with a new technology that's coming out more and more public ways, called the AO scan, taking advantage of Tesla energy, scalar energy, biophotons, physics, all the wonderful conversations. And I did buy that book. I did buy a book that dove into the specifics of all that. So definitely time for an upgrade.
So who were the speakers?
Yep.
Well, there was a biologic dentist speaking, and that was pretty profound.
What is his name? I think he was the same one as a couple of years ago. Can't remember his name.
He's in the Hatboro area, and which is where Ted lives that way as well. Mm-hmm. And we're just talking about, well, what was really impactful for me was implants, like titanium and metal implants and different caps, and how it basically electrifies or sensitizes the human body to different technology energies, from Wi-Fi to cell phones to computers, of course.
Scary. Yeah, really scary.
It was really impactful for me. I knocked out my tooth I had a bad concussion when I was young, and I have a big titanium rod in my upper jaw there. So I'm wondering if that gives me some of my gifts, sensitivities.
I was just thinking that. Maybe it's a plus for you. Yeah.
It may be. So, hey, I'm going to roll with it. That's for sure.
I'll go and get one. I'll go and get one, Kevin.
Yeah. Well, so we're going to be share. We're going to move forward here. I want to share a little bit about how to understand what we're talking about: energy, frequency, vibration. How we experience the phenomena of synchronicity. We experience the phenomena of intuition. We experience all this like seemingly magic in our world, and it's not. There's real information, real science, real research, real government funding, real everything. And I'm going to share it first with the doctors, and then I'll bring everybody on to take a look. We're down here, and let's see, right there, Doc. There we go. So this is Synergy Solutions, synergysolutionsessions.com. Lots of S's there, and that link is in the description. And this is when I spoke last year, getting everyone to have a physical experience, and then you'll hear some of the stories at the end.
What I do first is to get everyone to have an experience right here, right now, of what we're going to be talking about in just a second.
Oh, 1 second. Yeah, I know. I need to hook the doctors up with the volume. Sorry, everybody.
Okay.
No sound here.
Yeah, we're going to get that handled right now. And there's one little extra button. Procedures. All right, here we go.
What to do first is to get everyone to have an experience right here, right now, of what we're going to be talking about in just a second. So has a lot to do with rhythm and music and harmony and all that, but I just want to go with clapping. So I want everyone to start clapping.
If you're at home, give a clap. Give it a feel. See what
Get
happens.
the energy going. Let's go a little faster. Just feel it flow. Feel the flow. Get the body opened up. Let's get a little noise going. Woo! ASD! All right. All right, thank you. Doesn't that feel good? I know I feel a lot better from that.
I definitely felt a lot of work in my thyroid area, my right jaw, and my left foot that I've been waking up with basically it being a crippled foot.
Definitely some like tingling in like the third eye area.
I think when you put on the oil, like I calm down.
I feel amazing. I've taken so many deep breaths.
All right, so I shared that last year. I'm sharing it more with doctors now, and of course, a lot more people. And I wanted to, excuse me, there. We'll just do this. We'll do this. Okay, so here we are back. So that's an experience that we all have. Think about going to a concert or people even going to a holiday meal with everybody. Ultimately, as we start getting into that environment, we begin to get in this rhythm. Now, whether that's an enjoyable rhythm for you or not, that's the personal work. And actually, we're here to help you and assist you to have that harmonious vibe, to get into that good rhythm and finding those limitations and breaking through, so that you can have a, well, as I put it, a better life. Quality of life. Vesna, Sasha, George, talk about chiropractic. This is the philosophy of it, the ideas of it, the principles of it, of attuning one's body, getting oneself aligned, getting interference released. Let me put it that way. How does that translate into quality of life? Picking up kids or running or exercising or even sleeping well. Does that translate? Does that translate? Can that translate? Any thoughts?
Yeah, of course it can.
Of course it
Yeah.
can. Explain.
Nervous system is what makes us tick. It's how we relate to ourselves, how we relate to each other, how we relate to the planet. So chiropractic's all about the nervous system.
That's right. So it's how we relate to our environment, and chiropractic is facilitating that ability to respond and be adaptive.
Yep.
Okay, I like it. I know I'm speaking to the choir here. However, there's lots of people that I know are watching that are just maybe new thoughts, a new expansion. So George, thoughts from you?
Well, so we've been given this body, and the business of a living body is to process the stress of the world. And stress isn't all bad. Stress is things that happen to us: gravity, food, water, other people. And if we were not alive, we'd have no way to adapt to the stresses. But because we're alive, we have a tendency to adapt to stresses, which allows us to heal and to grow and evolve and all the things that living things do. When there's more stress coming in than we can handle, we store some of it for later, just like eating too much food. But that starts to clog up the works, just like too much food. And now our brain is not as able to perceive the world. It's not as able to process stress. We start to spiral down. And so as we're literally losing some life, the quality of our life experience is diminishing as well. So what we do is detect where those short circuits are happening, put some energetic informational input to send that stuck stress back to the brain to be processed again. Now the person is adjusted. Now they begin to spiral upward. And the more you do that, the more you have, the quality of life can improve as long as you're alive, if you follow the principles of thinking right, eating right, and keeping a brain body connection clear with adjustments. That was a mouthful.
Well, however, that is a gold mine. So anyone watching this, go back, watch this again, and take some notes on that, because that literally is the key to expressing and living to the highest ability that you have the potential within to do. And in essence, it's not like we're not asking you to do anything that we think we should do, or that we think that you should do. We're inviting you to connect with you at the most highest authentic self, in the most highest authentic way. And that's as far as the provider, someone who does this work, it's very freeing. I don't have to tell anybody what to do. I just get to allow them to be themselves, and just finding those areas that are limiting that individual. I had a wonderful experience yesterday, and exactly that was the case. Someone walks in all burdened from physical stuff and mental, emotional stuff, and they leave just vibrant. They leave with a smile, and there's a skip to the step, and the gift of that is so rewarding at a lot of levels. And this is occurring at different ways, and if I could say, there's layers to the human body. We've been so used to, I think the common belief or the common look at the human body is very much parts. One part here, one part there, not working together, not whole. And it's a step and a shift of perspective to look at the body as this whole being all at one. George, you talked about years ago, what is the one point that calms everything down, like the bathtub analogy you gave. I love that analogy, and maybe this is maybe we're hogging the airways here, George, but if you could give a few seconds on that thought of, there's a point that can help, that we're working with when it comes to the whole being, that will begin to calm or bring into balance everything. The idea, what is that?
Sure. Well, the analogy was, your body's like a bathtub, and now the water's all sloshing around. And if we could read all the waves just the right way, and put a post or a finger in the water in the right place, the water would immediately calm down and go back to its natural healthy state, let's say. So in the body, the ultimate adjustment is to find one place, and B.J. Palmer figured it with the atlas vertebra, right, the brainstem. Put a force into that, take the pressure off, and everything, all the other dominoes fall into place at that point. So I think ultimately you do one point and everything heals. There was an old Jewish guy a couple thousand years ago who was kind of into that. Touch you and everything would heal instantly. That was some power, right? So, we're helping in a similar way, but we're not as good at it yet.
Well, and it's that's the, if I could use a term from Rupert Sheldrake, and I invite anyone to look him up, there was complete ability to access that morphogenic field. And then deliver or align the individual with that based on their request. They asked, and they shout, and they received, essentially.
They received. Yeah, there you go.
Wow. Well, I love how we get there. So here we are. So let's talk about what goes on next here. Thank you, Sasha and Vesna, for entertaining George and I as I know we're electrified from this past weekend.
Oh my.
We can't keep up with you.
I know. I feel like a little teenager at the candy shop. And so the point is, let's continue to move things forward. Next, we're going to be talking about our intention for the day, and then we're going to be moving into the actual healing session. And I'm gonna have this broadcast continue to roll. It's 11:11. And I'm sure everyone's talking about that. I know people have messaged me a few times about that today. So Vesna and Sasha, I'm going to put you on the spot. Talk about 11:11. What is that about? Any thoughts on that? What have you been hearing? What's happening?
Sasha, I give you the word.
Oh, there we are. So to me, when I first started seeing the conversation of 11:11 began with seeing it all the time on the clock. Or 111. That was always. So I don't know if you've ever seen that before or heard that before. Sasha, has that ever happened to you? Nope.
No, explain it in another way. What? Say it in a different way.
Well, let me pull something up here. Anyone in the comments, please. Anyone who's watching, type in or go ahead, Vesna.
I don't know the meaning of it, but I know for over the last year, I really see it. I don't look at my mobile phone for, let's say, half an hour, and I pick it up, and it's 11:11:11:11, and I just feel, yes, it's going to be a great day, but I don't know real meaning of it.
Right on. And George, your thoughts?
Well, I've heard that, that's when the angels are giving you the God wink, like you're on track, it's like.
To give you what?
A
God wink. God goes, yeah,
Ah.
you're on.
You're on it. You're in synchronicity. You're in the right track.
It's also Veterans Day today, so there's another aspect of what we celebrate or honor over here. Yeah.
Thank you for that, George.
Yep.
And so I'm looking at Wikipedia. Now, this is not necessarily the authoritative voice I'm looking for, though, just to speak on the commonality of what is being discussed out there is, let's see if I can give this to the docs here real quick. Here it is. All right. 1111. Some numerologists, and numerology is a study of numbers and look at the golden ratio, pi. There's mathematics in nature, and this is what all the quantum physics is all about. This is all the fun sacred geometry is all about, and it seems to be very true. Nonetheless, numerologists, New Age philosophies. I'll make a comment real quick. I don't think my opinion of what New Age philosophy is actually a recreation of ancient philosophy. With a little bit of a different wrinkle. But when 1111 appears more often, that can be explained by chance or coincidence. Interestingly, the word coincidence, as I've studied, has to do with two lines coming together perfectly. Co-incident. Perfection. That's another way of saying that word, in my opinion. And the example of synchronicity. So that's like weird events that seemingly are aligning. And so people claim, and authors claim here, 1111 on the clock is an auspicious sign, a spiritual presence. But then there's some kind of examples of 11 phenomena. I'm not familiar with this, so presenting both sides of the conversation, I invite anyone to investigate, and that would be interesting study. Anyway, that being said, let's go ahead and move forward. 1111. Wanted to talk about that today. And I've always equated that with synchronicity. Now, so moving forward, let's step into the actual work. So how does this happen? We have our surrogate. So each of the doctors has a placeholder of energy. And then each of the doctors connects with the universal intelligence, the universal force, and we use a technique called the occipital drop, which is a neurobiofeedback, a human-to-human neurobiofeedback. Another word of saying is dowsing. Maybe Einstein was a dowser, I found out this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So it's computer language. It's zeros and ones, yeses and nos, yin and yang, up and down, male and female. It's binary. There's something going on in nature, and there's a way to learn and how to tap into that to get relevant information to assist oneself. And that's what we incorporate here. So I got a little explanation there. Thank you, everybody, for that. So let's talk about intention. Sasha, she is the foundation, the philosophical foundation of what we're doing here. I know the grand title. I want you to. I invite you to accept.
I can't live up to that.
Well,
Sorry.
So talk about intention. So in essence, it's the simplicity, what Sasha says, that's so delightful for me. So Sasha, tell what's our intention? What has been the intention for you?
It's the usual intention. I do get permission through the biofeedback to work.
Mm-hmm.
And then I ask what the priorities are. And I'll just work according to the priorities. Normally for me, it's techniques priorities.
Mm-hmm.
Because I use several techniques, as you know. So
Absolutely.
So I get a techniques priority. What's the most appropriate technique for this group, and is it okay to use it?
And so what Sasha's doing is she's talking about connecting to the source of information that is balancing, regulating, harmonizing, perfecting. We're connecting to that intelligence. That's your intention, and listening and getting that feedback from that source.
Yeah.
Right on. So I always like to, Sasha, prepare yourself for the future, because I'm going to continue to ask you that. And
I don't mind.
I know, and it's a beautiful thing, because it's a reminder that we can get poetic with our words, and we can get poetic with our intentions, at the core though, it's the simplicity of it.
Absolutely.
And Vesna, your thoughts for today? Our intentions as a human species, as a planet, our intentions as individuals. Any thoughts from you today?
To assist the process while removing myself from it or influencing it.
Okay, so simple service.
Yes.
Simply service is what I wanted to say. Well, thank you. That feels really phenomenal. I think that's why we're here. And George, thoughts about today for you?
Oh boy, they're flying around. But one way to look at it is 11:11, with the two dots in the middle. The purpose of the adjustment is to bring the spirit and flesh into union. And so it's like what a day, because they're like the same thing. They just look different. So again, see the light, be the best version of yourself you can be, receive the word, get out of your head into your heart. Just allow clarity, because what we are at the core is really pretty phenomenal. And maybe the business of life is just waking up to that. And this is the way that we serve people, to allow themselves to do that. Let's just wake up to who we really are and start acting like it or something. be whole again.
To essentially, I see it's recognition of patterns, ones that are detrimental, and aligning and shifting those to ones that are beneficial to the self, and of course, whatever is generated outward from that. I love that. Thank you. And so at home, you're tuning in, you're watching. You may have a specific desire for healing. You may have a specific wish for an outcome. You may have something in your life that you're moving the ball towards. Hold that intention in your heart. And if it is right for you, and if it's helping I'm assuming in benevolent ways, or whatever ways you're intending, well, hopefully benevolent, there's the universal karma that may come back. Whatever you're, if I intend anything about, well, I don't know, want to put anything out there. So the point is, I'm aligning with my own personal wholeness, and I invite you to hold silently what you're wanting to grow, because I think that's part of purpose in life, is to also grow something in life, whatever that may be for you. And so that's what you were holding in your heart. And then let's take a nice deep breath, and the doctors and myself, we will go ahead and connect and tap in, and we'll communicate with that intelligence to facilitate releasing any interference, bringing in what needs to be brought in, and aligning what needs to be aligned in as much availability as is today for you. So let's go ahead and make that shift. Go ahead and get your feet on the ground, take a nice deep breath in and out, and we're ready to get started here. If you're once you're all finished up, go ahead and give the thumbs up. We are still going. Yes.
Done.
Thank you. Okay. George, I'm getting 173,000
Okay.
for the collective here. For the collective here.
173,000. Wow.
Yeah. Thank you,
Okay.
Vesna.
That's fantastic.
Well, I also decided to include the experience group. That I'm like, oh, bring the experience group in here and see. Are they adding? Yes.
Yeah. Why not? I'm telling people, it's like expect there to be 100 million pretty soon. It's a
So,
start.
what we're talking about is Dr. George had been and I. This idea of what the OD is we're getting feedback from a question asked, and George and I over the years have been playing with the idea of affecting anyone that may not be connected to be that's willing to receive, that wants to receive, is aligning with this information to receive the adjustment that we're doing here. And this, I think, this format has accelerated or expanded that reach. I know George, I know you were doing independently, and then you shared that at one of the seminars years ago, and the idea, I love the idea, so I started doing it locally at my office, and people would come in saying, I don't know, I just drive by this place and I gotta come in. And so what we're talking about is just energetics, and it's a beautiful and a wonderful discovery. Not discovery, but it's like discovering radio. The frequencies were already there. We're just now learning how to use it. Okay, George, you want to add something before we do our debrief for
I want
today?
to say something real quick about what, years ago I went to a refresher, and there was a bunch of the experienced people in the room, maybe like 20 of us, let's say, and like how we are today, that's how everybody was, like a bunch of people like rah, rah, and the energy all bleeding over each other and stuff. I thought, let me adjust everybody here as a group, and I did that. It might have been the first time I did it, and everybody had their unique, powerful identity, but they were all like separated now. We were in our space and not bleeding over other people's space. So I thought that was just kind of interesting. Like if we're cells in the body of mankind, let's just stay within our cell membrane and do our best from there, instead of trying to influence the other people any other way. So I just started to throw that in.
Well, so I was in on that adjustment because I remember very specifically, and everyone became harmonious in the sense allowing everyone to complete a thought and complete the question and hear the answer, and very organized and respectful and dynamic experience.
We calmed the waters.
Yeah.
That's what it was like.
Yeah. Vesna, I'm going to have you start today. What did you notice? What did you find? And any insights?
It was just simple today. C1, and I adjusted ethmoid bone and L5. Yeah, it was all physical, simple. No major processes for
Simple. What did we? It's beautiful hearing at the seminar, going back to some of the basics. Now we were in the advanced room, but there was a moment where I was in the main area during the discussion of the ethmoid bone, and the powerful ability in other mammals of detecting magnetic direction, north, south, east, west, kind of like knowing where to go automatically. So perhaps this was a little more exquisite of an adjustment than you may have first thought.
P1, L5, the Lovett brothers, right? So that's a global adjustment too.
So what Dr. George is referring to is the nature, like the seesaw, in which the human body works as far as mechanics, something above and something below being attuned. And Vesna also then addressing the direction we are, knowing where to go. What?
Both ends.
Good.
Thank
We
you.
all need that.
That connection to our intuition. Yes. And Sasha, same question to you. What did you notice? What did you find? What did you work on?
Oh, funny you should say that. I got L5 as well.
Uh-huh.
Exciting. Exciting.
I'm not making it up. I got a Reiki symbol first, and then I got L5, and that's all I got.
Okay.
Nothing
Okay.
else today.
So talk about the Reiki symbol.
The Reiki was the one that connects us back to Earth.
Very good. And so that's profound. You know, I think we need to start doing something like Johnny Carson, write down our findings and then show them.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, you know, it seems like, well, it's just beautiful synchronicity. We'll say that once more.
Yeah, your Vesna said L5. I thought, oh yeah, that's what I was doing.
Beautiful. And George, what did you find today?
Heart, C5, kidney a couple times, the 4 hollow organs, and then Atlas kind of from above, and then it downloaded. That was interesting. From below, I should say.
Going upwards. Yep.
Oh, that's really interesting because I found it. Sorry that I
No, yeah.
jumped in from superior to inferior and kind of Blair, but direction down and then direction up a little.
Yeah.
Like unusual today.
Yeah, sort of kind of like almost like this way, which is unusual, but yeah.
Well, and upward. So think about this, though. We, you know, I'm just going to talk about strict mechanics for a moment. The most common posture all of us are doing frequently is looking down and leaning forward. And there's nothing better than, I don't know if anyone does orthopedic testing. However, just having that head lifted up for many people is like, oh, doc, you can hold that all day.
Yeah.
Just lift it up. Oh yeah, you get that comment. And so I just knowing having that pressure. You know, they talk about mechanics. For every inch forward the head is positioned past neutral, it gains 10 pounds in weight. So a couple kilograms in weight there for Europe there. And so I don't know about you. I've seen some people. You know, they're out there. I mean, how the apparent weight for that is significant, and that
60.
puts 60. That's right.
Good, yeah. Full flexion, it goes from like 14 to 60.
Wow.
It's like, this is 10 pounds. I have people hold this and say your head's more than this. That's really heavy. Go like this. It's really, really heavy.
Yeah.
All day.
Well, I know I've gotten caught. Maybe many people have. I'm at the corner, or I'm even in my own house, just standing in the middle of nowhere, just texting for like 20 minutes. Like, and then I'm like, oh, my back, my neck.
About cell phones. I'm not a cell phone expert, but they work this way too. They don't just have to be like this. And you just save your life that way a little bit. Just saying.
So we need some adjusting. We need some tuning. That's and the thing is pivotal in this day and age more than ever before. And go ahead.
Awareness of our body posture.
But I think you won.
What's going on here? I don't know.
Hang on.
And let's see, to wrap things up, I found a few locations off the body, some going in, some going out. That was interesting. And I found a cranial bone over here, and simple as well for myself today. And so I really enjoyed, and thank you everybody for your participation. Another delightful conversation and fun one today. Thank you. And if I may be so bold, today can be a transformative day. It is available for people. Connect with that feeling that feels good, and do the things that are growing the life the way that you value and desire. And know that there's a give and a receive. There's our service and our work, and how we go about that makes a difference. Thanks everybody for tuning in. And doctors, thank you for your participation today once again. And
Thank you. Thanks,
and
everybody.
always a delight. And more to come next Wednesday, 12 noon Eastern time, United States time. And until then, this has been a successful session of Synergy Solutions. All right, everybody.
All
Lots
right.
of S's there. Have a good day.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Kevin Jr. This is the first introductory video in becoming your own healer.